I'm going to give you 3 tips how to make the fluffiest pizza at home. What can go wrong? Oh, and what is important? I will let you know. One little secret before I start, we will not use a rolling pin. Hi, my name is Felicitas Then and today I'm going to make pizza. For me, the best food in the world. Of course, we start with the dough. The choice of flour is very important. This is not normal flour, this is 0-0 flour, which means it's got more proteins and more gluten, so the dough is more elastic and gets more bubbles. And we want the bubbles, right? Okay. Normally people would use warm water for yeasty doughs, but for a really good pizza dough we need cold water. And now, here's my first very important tip, the yeast. Normally you would put in the whole thing, yeah? But for a good pizza dough, you only need a tiny little bit, as we will let the dough rise for 24 hours. And it's also good because you save yeast and you can make pizza for the rest of the month. Now we mix the yeast with the water. I mean, with this technique, you have to plan your pizza evening a little bit. You cannot make it in 1 hour, but the taste is completely worth it. Cheers! Of course, we need salt. And that's it. No olive oil, no nothing, only kneading. You can use your hands or you have a machine. So now you have to wait for at least 10 minutes because you really want to stretch the dough. But in the meantime, you can dream of pizza. Sometimes hands are better than machines. 10 minutes is a long time. Okay, let's see if the consistency is right. There's a test. You use your finger and put it in the dough. And if the dough jumps back, then it's done. Okay, we put the dough back into the bowl. And now cover the dough and let it rest for 12 hours. We leave it at room temperature. The dough likes maybe 18 degrees. And in Berlin it's cold, so it's perfect. After 12 hours, I'm going to divide the dough into balls. Because I only used a little bit of yeast, the dough doesn't look very different yet. It's totally fine. And now you shouldn't knead the dough again. Use a dough scraper or a knife to divide it into pieces. Neapolitan style pizza should be around 250 to 280 grams per pizza ball. So let's see. And now we want to round the dough. With this technique, you also fold in a little bit of air, which is nice to get fluffy bubbles. Now these beautiful balls go into a box to proof for another 12 hours. Good night! In the meantime, I can make the sauce. I learned in Naples that you don't need to cook your tomato sauce. You use very good tinned tomatoes, and now you can use your hands again. Now we need salt and pepper, of course. And if you want to, you can add a little bit of garlic because, hey, garlic makes everything better, right? And I use fresh basil. Tip number 2, heat. We need as much heat as we can have. Heat it up as long as you can, up to half an hour, because we really want it hot. And I will use a pizza stone. Nowadays you can buy them almost everywhere. And it's important to heat this up as well. So, in the oven it goes. The pizza stone allows the dough to bake evenly. Also, it gives the pizza a really crunchy crust. Finally, we are ready. Oh. Hello, beauties. Look at the bubbles. Very tiny ones. Look. Now, tip number 3. We don't need a rolling pin because this would push out the air out of the dough, but we want to keep it inside, so we only use our hands and be very gentle. I mean, I don't have the original Neapolitan technique yet, but I mean, it looks at least semi-professional, no? And don't press down the edges because we want an extra fluffy crust. Okay, tomato sauce. And now the Italian colors are complete. The mozzarella. Here I have buffalo mozzarella. For the flavor, I use a little bit of Parmesan cheese. You could also go for pecorino. A good drizzle of olive oil. This is from Naples. I bought it last summer. And to finish the Italian flag, basil. And now, into the oven. You really have to be quick. Okay, I'm so proud. This is homemade. Homemade. And now, 24 hours later, I can finally try my pizza. And this is exactly what we wanted, a very fluffy dough. Here is the bubble. Now you can see why it's a Neapolitan style pizza. You have the very fluffy and rather thick crust and the very juicy center. So what is your favorite pizza? Please let me know in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye!